Okay, I was just going to do a little audio test just to show you the difference between the Fairlight page and the edit page, where it comes to the complaint that it distorts in the edit page and on export, but it's not distorted in the Fairlight page. So I'm just going to demonstrate that because it obviously can be confusing for people, and maybe this should be sorted out as well. I don't know, but the main thing is, as long as you keep below 0 dB on the digital scale, you won't get any distortion. So anyway, let's just demonstrate this. So we've got a file here, and what I've done, I've loaded up TC Electronics LM2 loudness meter. So this 0 point here is actually set to minus 23 LUFS. Anything over that will basically come on this side of the meter. Okay, so that should be equal to what Fairlight's doing on this side of the page, or very similar. I think the actual legends are different on each meter. But anyway, let's give this a go. So let's just set this fader to 0 again. That one shouldn't be there anyway. This one's at 0. So as you can see, that my LM2 is just inserted in the main output of the mixer. I'm not going to touch this fader at all, because if I pull this down, it won't affect the level going into the LM2. So we'll just leave that as it is. And let's just play the track a minute. So as you can see, at the minute, we're way over minus 23 LUFS. Now if we look at the stats and we look at the true peak, we're not actually hitting 0 on the digital scale, we're actually at minus 3.9. Okay, so this is fine, and this should sound fine in the edit page. So let's just have a look, see what it does sound like in the edit page. Okay, let's just go back to the same place and press play. So this should be identical. There's no changes here. There's no difference in the way that the edit page and Fairlight are handling the audio at this stage, because we're not actually hitting the digital threshold of distortion at 0. Okay, so let's try and get it to distort instead then. So let's go back into the Fairlight page and let's click on Inspector. So at the minute then, we need to push this audio up to distort. So I'm just going to go in and type in 24, so we can see that's gone way up now. Okay, so when we press play now, let's see what happens. Well, it is extremely loud. And if we look on the meters here, this is pegged to the top. It's not even coming down. We can see it up here and here as well. Okay, so let's just open up my loudness meter again. And as you can see, the true peak now is 19.1. Okay, so this is the actual level that's been constructed with this 32-bit floating point. So it's gone to plus 20 over digital clipping. That's because we're working in a 32-bit floating point. Right, I'm just going to stop that so I can hear myself think. Okay, so at this stage, Fairlight is letting the audio play, even though it's not distorting, but it doesn't sound good. It just sounds too loud. You'd have to really turn your monitoring level down to be able to handle that, which isn't what you want to do. Okay, so let's go into the edit page now, and when I play this back, when I edit the video, I'm actually going to turn this all down, because this is going to blow your socks off now. So I'm just going to play this quickly, and as you can hear, that is a terrible distortion there. It's really bad. We're still hitting the roof, but now we're in the edit page and we're getting all that nasty distortion. Now people are asking whether there's any compression or limiting going on there. Well, I don't really know. It's sort of hit a ceiling and it's not going any louder. But again, you shouldn't be mixing like that. And just to show what is happening here, if we just open the plugin up again. So at the minute we're hitting 20. So because I know I've increased the file to 24 dB louder than the actual file was originally, I'm just going to put my fader down by 24. So you can see the number changing up there. So we go down to -24. Let's get my plugin again. Problem with Fairlight working on a double screen is when you click on another area, you lose any floating window that's here. So I'm going to have to go back in and open this up again. Okay, when I click here, it disappears. I've mentioned this numerous times, but it still hasn't been... Oh, there we go again. It still hasn't been fixed. Anyway, let me reset my meter. I'll reset the one there. Actually, shouldn't have done that. Here we go. Right, and let's just play that back now. Just going to come over. I'll do it in my spacebar so I don't lose this screen. So, as you can see, we're at -24 on the fader. We're not clipping, and it sounds fine in Fairlight. So let's go back to the edit page now and see what's happening. I'll just stop that a minute and go to the edit page and play back. Okay. And again, it's exactly the same, it's crystal clear. So we know that we should be checking our meters when we're mixing in Fairlight. So stop that and go back into Fairlight. So if you don't use your meters and you do accidentally clip, it will be distorted when you play it back in the edit page or when you export your video. It's just the way digital works. You do need to look at your meters. Now, people are arguing, well, the software shouldn't be like that, and obviously Fairlight was a add-on to Davinci, so it's been developed in a different way. I don't know, maybe they'll change the way the edit page works, I don't know. But if you're working in a digital audio workstation, you should always be checking your meters. You should always be delivering your audio at a set level anyway, whatever specifications you've been told to deliver at. Anyway, I just thought I'd show that because maybe the developers might want to change the way it works. Okay, well, hope that makes sense, and thank you for listening and watching.